Welcome back to Listen and Learn English. I'm Liam and I'm joined by Sophia. Today we have a very special episode for our A2 and B1 learners. If you're looking to improve your listening and speaking skills naturally, you're in the right place.
Hi everyone. I am so excited about today's topic. We are talking about something that sounds like a dream, literally. Can we actually learn English while we sleep? Or is it just a myth?
That is the big question, Sophia. We often see videos titled Learn English While You Sleep or Improve Your Speaking in Your Sleep. Today, we're going to dive deep into how our brains process language at night, and more importantly, how we can use our rest time to boost our speaking skills during the day.
I remember when I first started learning a second language. I used to put on recordings of vocabulary lists before bed. Sometimes I would wake up and feel like I knew the words better, but other times I just felt tired.
Exactly. There is a science to it. But before we get into the how, let's talk about the why. Why do you think people are so obsessed with the idea of learning while sleeping?
I think it's because we are all so busy, Liam. Between work, school, and family, finding 2 hours a day to sit with a textbook is hard. The idea that we can use those 8 hours of sleep to become fluent is very attractive.
It really is. But let's be honest with our listeners. You can't learn a whole new language from scratch just by sleeping. However, research shows that sleep is when our brain consolidates what we learned during the day. It's like a filing cabinet. Your brain takes the English you heard today and organizes it while you dream.
That's a great way to put it. So, if I study a few new phrasal verbs in the afternoon, and then I listen to a gentle English podcast like ours while I fall asleep, my brain is actually working to keep those words in my long-term memory?
Precisely. It's about reinforcement. If you hear the words right before or during the early stages of sleep, your brain marks that information as important.
I've noticed that when I listen to English stories at night, I sometimes dream in English. Have you ever had a dream in another language, Liam?
I have. It's the strangest feeling, isn't it? You wake up and think, wait, did I just order a coffee in perfect English in my dream? It shows that your subconscious is starting to feel comfortable with the language.
Let's talk about the speaking side of things. How does listening while sleeping help someone speak better? Because speaking is an active skill, right?
Right. Speaking requires muscle memory in your mouth and quick thinking in your brain. When you listen to natural conversations, like the ones we have here, your brain is picking up on rhythm, intonation, and stress.
Oh, like the music of the language?
Exactly. English has a specific bounce to it. By listening repeatedly, even in a relaxed state, you are training your ear to recognize where sentences start and end. When you wake up and try to speak, you might find that you sound more natural because you are subconsciously mimicking that rhythm.
I like that. It's like how children learn. They don't study grammar books first. They just soak in the sounds around them for a long time before they say their first word.
Exactly. We call that the silent period in language learning. And for adults, using sleep time listening can help shorten that period. Sophia, what kind of things do you think are best to listen to at night?
I think it's important to choose things that aren't too stressful. If you listen to a very fast news report or a loud action movie, you won't sleep well. I recommend calm dialogues, short stories, or even repeating positive affirmations in English.
I am a confident English speaker. I can express my ideas clearly. Things like that?
Yes, because a big part of speaking English is confidence. If you tell your brain you are good at English right before you go to sleep, you might wake up feeling less afraid to make mistakes.
That's a powerful point. Fear is the biggest enemy of speaking. If we can use sleep to lower our anxiety, we'll be much more likely to speak up in a meeting or a classroom the next day.
Let's talk about the routine. If a listener wants to try this tonight, what should they do?
Well, first, don't use headphones that hurt your ears. But seriously, I would suggest picking a topic you already know a little bit about. For example, if you are interested in travel, listen to a travel podcast in English. Since you know the context, your brain doesn't have to work too hard to understand the plot, so it can focus on the words and the sounds.
And maybe keep the volume low?
Definitely. It should be like background music. You want your brain to hear it, but you don't want it to keep you awake. The goal is Passive immersion.
I also think it's helpful to review what you heard the next morning. Maybe spend 5 minutes while drinking your coffee, thinking about one or two phrases you remember from the recording.
That active bridge is so important. You listen passively at night, and then you use it actively in the morning. That is the secret formula for improvement.
You know, Liam, I've also heard that repetitive listening is key. Listening to the same episode 3 or 4 nights in a row.
Yes, repetition is the mother of all learning. The first night, your brain hears the sounds. The second night, it recognizes the words. The third night, it understands the grammar patterns. By the fourth night, those words are ready to come out of your mouth when you speak.
It's all about making the English language feel like home. It shouldn't feel like a foreign object in your head. It should feel like a part of you.
Well said. And for our friends listening right now, whether you are wide awake or getting ready for bed, just know that every minute you spend surrounding yourself with English is a step forward.
Don't be too hard on yourselves if you don't understand every single word. Even we, as native speakers, sometimes miss things. The goal is progress, not perfection.
Exactly. Just keep the audio playing, let your mind relax, and trust the process. Your brain is much smarter than you give it credit for.
I think we've covered a lot today, Liam. From the science of sleep consolidation to the importance of rhythm and confidence.
It's been a great conversation. I hope our listeners feel encouraged to try this nightly immersion and see how it impacts their speaking during the day.
Me too. It's such a gentle way to learn.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you found these phrases and stories helpful. If you enjoyed this, please give this video a like and share it with a friend who is also learning English.
To make sure you never miss an episode and to keep your learning journey consistent, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications.
Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next one. Happy learning!
Good night, and happy learning, everyone.